Welcome back to the channel. I'm Lauren Fix, and this is the 2023 Honda Accord. Now, it comes in 6 different trim levels. This is the hybrid touring, the top trim level, but I want to show you some of the great features that are on this, and of course you can build up to that on some of the lower trim levels. So let's get started with the vehicle itself. It is in its 11th generation, and it has a complete redesign both inside and out. And let's get started with the look of this vehicle. You will right away notice a longer hood. This vehicle is about 2.8 inches longer, and it also has a wider stance by almost a half an inch, which means it has better traction, better handling, and a better stance. So when you go around to the front, you're going to see this new flat grille. It is black on our Touring Edition, LED headlights. I like the new design and the new styling, and they've done a nice job with this, making this car look nice and clean, and all that really stands out is that Honda logo. Our test vehicle rides on 19-inch alloy wheels on Michelin all-season tires. On the lower trim levels, there's 17-inch wheels. One of the things you're going to notice from the side profiles, this vehicle looks longer because it is, like I said, about almost 3 inches, but you'll see that there's chrome detail here. It can also come black depending on the trim level. There's a sport trim level as well as a luxury, and this is the EXL Touring. Now you'll see that there is a sunroof on this vehicle, and I love that the handles are all color coded in. Very nicely done. The warranty on this vehicle is 3 years, 36,000 miles with a powertrain warranty of 5 years or 60,000 miles. As you come around to the back, you'll see this almost sports coupe looking design with a little flip in the back, gives it a nice sporty appearance. You'll see the Accord logo here, as well as the hybrid touring. There are 2 different engines. We'll talk about that just before we drive it. But the fact is that it comes with 2 engines, and there is no all-wheel drive option. It only comes front-wheel drive. Overall, this new taillights in the back are LED. They've done a nice job keeping it really clean, really modern, and sophisticated. For visibility, there is a backup camera, but the front glass is quite large, which gives you good visibility forward, and the A-pillars, which are between the windshield and the side, are narrow, so you get excellent visibility all the way across the side and the front of the vehicle. Looking out the back, you've got a nice piece of glass, and with those side mirrors, you have excellent visibility and much improved over the previous generation. Part of the updates of the new design are the new seats for the Honda Accord. They have more support, as you can see from these bolsters, and they also offer lumbar support and adjustable seating on the driver's side. There's also 2 memory seat settings. Passenger side seating is similar. Heated and ventilated seats are optional and available on the higher trim levels. There is no lumbar support on the passenger side. Going into the second row, you've got latch seating for 2, but it seats 3 people. Nice seating. It's a little bit flat, but you've got to get a lot of people back here. Behind the passenger seat, there's a pocket. There is no pocket behind the driver's seat. Behind the center console, you've got 2 USB-C outlets and 2 vents. There are some nice improvements for technology and features on the new Accord. Of course, you see the controls that are here on the steering wheel. They move the volume to the left side, which I really like, and the cruise control is on your right. There's paddle shifters on our Touring Edition. There's not paddle shifters on the lower trim levels, but it's nice to know it's there. In front of you, you've got digital gauges that can be adjusted. Also, when you add your safety features, you can just press the buttons on the steering wheel and it's right there. You'll also notice some interesting information. You see my foot is on the brake, so you can see that the brake lights are lit up. When I take my foot off, they go off. Isn't that neat? Just a little tip. The all-new sporty modern interior has a standard 10.2-inch digital driver cockpit right here, which is completely adjustable, so you can, obviously the speedometer doesn't change, but you can change the additional information. Going to the center screen, it is 12.3 inches. It's a touch screen. It has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Maps are through Google. It has Google Assist. It's all right there. You can go to your settings and set that up. In addition, you can set up your phone, FM, Google Play, and all of your other profile settings are right here, and that includes AM radio, which a lot of vehicles are removing, wireless hotspot, get your compass, your display, and your additional apps all right there. Google Assist. So that is new for this vehicle as well. There's also a 6-inch head-up display. Audio system is Bose audio with 12 speakers. You'll note as you go further down, this nice new clean interior is really nicely done. And again, they carried that honeycomb design across the whole front of the vehicle. Really nice and clean, lots of storage in the doors. And I do like that they used real stitching here, really nicely done. Further down below, the climate controls, USB-C, 2 charge ports. There's also 2 in back, so a total of 4. And wireless charging and some extra space for some other items. Further back, you've got 2 cup holders and your Prindle. This is your drive mode button. Econ, normal, sport, and individual. This also changes your center screen, just to let you know what mode you're in. This is your hybrid or electric only. You're only going to get a few miles of distance on it, but it's nice to have it if you just got to run around town. Brake hold and parking brake are here. Inside this nice, soft, wide glove box is an additional charge port for that lighter connection. If you've got a radar detector, you need to charge something. Now, speaking of safety, the safety is standard. This is a National Highway Traffic Safety Administration 5-star crash test, which is the top of the line. And it's an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which means this is the safest categories you can get all the way across the board. I got a notification there was something in front of me, an object, and of course I was able to slow down. Again, visibility is critical. That's a new one. I think in every car review I've done, and I've done thousands of them over 30-some years, never had an animal in the road before. I'll add that to my list, my bucket list. Under the hood of our test car is the more powerful 2-motor hybrid with a 1.1 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery pack. It has 204 horsepower, 247 pound-feet of torque, and that's for the Sport, EXL, Sport L, and Touring trim levels. It is more powerful and it's more fun to drive. Comes with paddle shifters, it's front-wheel drive, and it does 0 to 60 in 6.6 seconds. Miles per gallon, 48 combined on the EXL trim, and 44 miles to the gallon combined on the other trim levels. Standard transmission for all Accords is the direct drive transmission. 0 to 60 time in the sport mode, 6.6 seconds, 2 electric motors. It is a 2-liter motor, and it's certainly better than the previous Accord. And the one thing you'll notice right away when you drive this vehicle, no matter what mode it's in, is it rides really nicely. I mean, this is a complete improvement over the previous generation. Not that the previous generation was bad. Don't get me wrong. If you've got an older Accord, you should be very pleased. And that's why this is the best-selling car for decades. But I will tell you that this vehicle is much better riding, and it absorbs the undulations, shall we say, of the roadway better than its previous generation, because it has a wider stance by about a half an inch, like I was saying, and it's longer, so you're going to get a better ride, which is pretty normal. But there's also improved suspension. It's stiffer, so it's going to be able to absorb everything. Just the way it's laid out is really, really impressive and a huge improvement over the previous generation. Now, you can go to the different drive modes. Let's go to a normal mode, which is where you're probably going to have it 99.9% of the time. And one of the things you're going to note about this vehicle is that it's really easy to drive. And that's why they sell so many of them. People that own these vehicles are like, love this vehicle. Now, there are some interesting things about this vehicle. It does have a head-up display that shows your traffic sign integration. So you're going to get the speed limit in front of you. It's also in the navigation because it's Google-based, and it's also on the screen in front of you here. But you also have stop signs. It has child zones. It tells you a lot of information that you might miss if you've got the music on and you're not paying attention. So this sort of helps you be a safer driver on the road. So as far as the vehicle in itself, the performance is good. You're getting 44 miles to the gallon in our touring vehicle. The higher EXL trim, which is about fuel economy, is going to get 48 miles to the gallon combined, which is huge. So, I mean, this is something you absolutely, want to think about if you're thinking about the cost of gasoline. And honestly, I like this choice better personally than an electric car or some of the other options that are out there. It's not a plug-in. It doesn't have to be. You can still get the best of the best. And Honda and Toyota and a lot of the brands that are out there have figured that out. People like this. You're getting good fuel economy, performance, safety, visibility, everything you want. All the features that you want, You can get in a car, you can go as far as you want, fill up on fuel, and keep going. And at 48 miles to the gallon, or 44 in this car, it's pretty darn good. As far as steering input, they've tightened that up as well. It's very specific. It's easy to drive. Whether you're driving just on the roads or wherever you might be going, I think you'd be very impressed with this 2023 model over the 22. This vehicle is running for North American Car of the Year. I'll bet you now, but well before the voting, this is going to be a final 3 because this is a super popular car and people like it and they like what's being offered. There is also 2 new colors being offered. There are 6 trim levels. There's different interior colors, and I think this is good because this is what people want. They want to have something that they can feel comfortable in, take their family, seats 5, and it's certainly an option. You don't have to have an SUV. Let's take a look at the cargo space. When it comes to the trunk space on the Honda Accord, there's 16.7 cubic feet of storage, which is quite a bit actually. There is no spare tire. There is a tire inflation product. It's just good information to know. When it comes to pricing of the 2023 Honda Accord, it starts at about $28,000 and goes all the way up to $38,900. Our test vehicle is a Touring, so it came in at a total of $38,995. There really aren't a lot of options on this vehicle, and that's a good thing because this vehicle comes fully loaded with all the safety features and the technology that people want. And that's where it comes to the pros and the cons. Great performance with this new engine package. Handles much nicer than the previous generation, and all the safety features which are upgraded or standard is really a big plus. Lots of cargo space and places to put your items. The new bigger center screen is also a big plus. On the negative side, the only thing I can think of is I wish it came in all-wheel drive or at least a sport edition where you get a little extra performance. Maybe they'll be doing that in the future. Although we really liked the Honda Accord, I suggest you test drive all the vehicles and then, of course, check for insurance rates to find out what's best for you. What's a competitor? Well, the Toyota Camry, the Kia K5, the Volkswagen Passat, the Chevy Malibu. There is a ton of vehicles in this category. Actually, there's about 8 different vehicles to choose from. So if you're thinking about a 4-door mid-size sedan, there are some vehicles that might meet your needs. I suggest you take this one for a test drive, and you'll see why it's the best-selling vehicle in the segment and the best-selling vehicle since it came out. And this explains why. I did not cover every single detail on this vehicle, so if you have additional questions, put that down in the comments below. I'm more than happy to answer your questions because I want you to have good choices and to have car smarts. If you got value from this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this one. If you'd like to support our channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee. The link for that is down below in the description, as well as for the website, social media, the podcast, and the book. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.